Hey everyone, welcome back to Celebrity Scoop, where Hollywood secrets unfold in ways you've never imagined. Today we're diving into a surprisingly intimate confession from none other than Ripa. And trust me, this one's got fans blushing, laughing, and totally hooked. From unexpected morning confessions to behind-the-scenes relationship truths that even Consuelos didn't see coming. Stay tuned till the end, because there's a twist that changes everything about how you'll see this power couple. When it comes to Hollywood's most adored duos, Ripa and Consuelos have long held the crown for keeping romance alive after decades together. But even for a couple known for their candid honesty and playful chemistry, what Kelly revealed recently caught everyone off guard and left the audience both amused and intrigued. It all started during a light-hearted segment on Live with Kelly and Mark, where Kelly was asked about the small habits she appreciates most about her husband. The audience expected something simple, maybe his humor, his cooking, or his dedication as a dad. But Kelly leaned in with a mischievous grin and said, "You know what's weird? Mark always has good breath. Even in the morning." The crowd erupted in laughter, but Kelly wasn't joking. "I swear," she continued, her tone half amused and half baffled. "We've been married for over 25 years, and I have never woken up next to him thinking, ugh, morning breath. It's like his mouth just doesn't know how to be gross." The audience roared, but there was something deeper in Kelly's expression. A kind of wonder that comes from noticing the smallest, strangest signs of compatibility. And that's where the story began to take a twist. As she spoke, Mark, sitting beside her, raised an eyebrow, clearly caught off guard by the unusual compliment. "That's true," he said, laughing. "She tells everyone this, and I honestly don't know why. I brush my teeth, sure, but I'm not doing anything special." Kelly interrupted with her trademark wit. No, don't act like you're normal. You're some kind of superhuman. You wake up like a Disney prince. Meanwhile, I sound like a chainsaw and smell like coffee before it's brewed." The exchange seemed playful, harmless even. But what unfolded next turned a quirky confession into something far more personal and emotional. Behind that laughter, there's history. Kelly and Mark's marriage has always fascinated fans. Not because it's perfect, but because it's real. They met in 1995 on the set of All My Children, fell in love almost instantly, and eloped in Las Vegas just a year later. Since then they've navigated fame, raising 3 kids and hosting a live show together. Something that could easily test even the strongest bond. So when Kelly chose to highlight something as odd as good breath, it wasn't just about hygiene. It was about connection, the kind that stays fresh even when life gets messy. During a commercial break, audience members later revealed that Kelly was unusually reflective backstage. She was seen turning to Mark, laughing softly, but her voice had that familiar crack she gets when emotions are high. "You know," she said, "it's not really about your breath. It's that you've never stopped being gentle with me, not once. Even when we argue, even when I'm tired or cranky, you never make me feel unwanted." Mark leaned over, kissed her forehead, and whispered something that didn't make the microphones. But people close enough could see her eyes well up. When the show resumed, Kelly brushed it off with humor, joking, "Sorry, I got sentimental over toothpaste." But for fans who followed their journey, that moment was telling, proof that sometimes the silliest details hide the deepest truths. Later that day, the clip went viral. Fans flooded social media with comments. "Kelly and Mark just proved that true love is in the details. Find someone who has good morning breath energy. I've never wanted to be jealous of mouthwash, but here we are." But among the laughter, a few eagle-eyed fans noticed something else. Kelly's tone had shifted. Over the years, she's been open about the challenges of marriage. On their show and in interviews, she's admitted there were moments when the two didn't see eye to eye. "Marriage isn't a fairy tale," she once said. "It's a lot of work. But if you can keep laughing through the weird stuff, you've already won." And perhaps this good breath confession was just that. A metaphor for what it means to stay close, even when life gets stale. But just when fans thought the story was over, a surprising behind-the-scenes rumor began to circulate, one that changed how people viewed the whole moment. According to a source close to the show, Kelly's confession wasn't just random. The producers had planned a light couple appreciation segment, but earlier that morning before filming, Kelly and Mark had a heated argument backstage. It wasn't about work or fame, but something much more personal. how much of their relationship to share publicly. Mark reportedly wanted to keep more of their private life off camera. He felt that their intimacy, their home routines, even their small quirks should stay between them. But Kelly, ever the storyteller, believed that sharing those honest details made them relatable. The tension lingered as they prepared to go live. And that's when Kelly, in classic Ripa fashion, flipped the script. Instead of pretending everything was fine, she chose humor, turning a private frustration into a public joke about something as innocent as morning breath. It was her way of saying, "We're okay. We can laugh through anything." Later, an insider from the show said, "That's Kelly's magic. She never hides from conflict. She transforms it." What started as tension turned into television gold. By the end of the segment, they weren't fighting. They were laughing again. And that's the real twist. The confession wasn't rehearsed. It was spontaneous, and it saved the mood on set. After the show, Mark addressed the viral moment during an interview with Entertainment Tonight. When asked if Kelly exaggerated, he chuckled. "I mean, I hope not. But if she thinks I've got good morning breath, who am I to argue? I'll take the compliment." But then he added something that melted hearts everywhere. "What I love about Kelly is that she finds joy in the smallest things. Whether it's toothpaste, coffee, or a 5-minute conversation before the chaos begins. She reminds me that love isn't about grand gestures. It's about still being excited to wake up next to the same person every day." That line, "still being excited to wake up next to the same person," was replayed across social media like a love anthem. However, the internet being the internet, not everyone believed it was that simple. Some fans speculated that the good breath line was symbolic, a way of hinting that the couple's bond remains fresh despite years of challenges. Others thought Kelly might have been masking deeper emotional tension. In a later episode, Kelly playfully addressed the theories. "I saw people online saying we were sending secret messages about our marriage." She laughed. "Guys, the only message is, brush your teeth. It's good for relationships." But her co-host and husband wasn't letting her off that easily. "Actually," Mark said, leaning in, "I think what she meant is that she still likes me enough to notice how I smell in the morning." Kelly laughed, then added softly, "Exactly." That single word carried warmth, and maybe even apology. Off-screen, Kelly has always been vocal about her admiration for Mark. She often calls him the most handsome man alive, even after nearly 3 decades together. But she's also admitted that their relationship hasn't been without its rough patches. In her memoir Live Wire, Long-Winded Short Stories, Kelly opened up about moments of loneliness during Mark's early career, when he was often away filming. "There were nights I'd sit alone with the kids, wondering if the distance would change us," she wrote. "But every time he came home, it felt like no time had passed." Perhaps that's why her comment about his breath resonated so deeply, because it wasn't about minty freshness at all. It was about closeness, the kind that doesn't fade, even after years apart or arguments before showtime. But then came the second twist, and it happened live. A week after the viral confession, Kelly decided to surprise Mark on air. During another episode of Live, she brought out a cake shaped like a giant toothbrush, complete with the words "always fresh" written in frosting. The audience howled with laughter as Kelly presented it to a red-faced Mark. "This is for you, my minty prince," she declared dramatically. Mark, playing along, said, "You know, you're making it impossible for anyone to take me seriously." Kelly smirked. "Oh, you love it. Admit it." But then, right in the middle of the laughter, Kelly paused. Her tone softened. "All jokes aside," she said, turning toward him, "I talk a lot, too much sometimes. But the truth is, you've never made me feel silly for being myself. Even when I embarrass you on national TV." The room grew quiet for a second. Mark reached out, took her hand, and replied simply, "That's why we work, because you're real." The audience erupted into applause. What began as a silly viral moment had transformed into one of the most heartfelt exchanges in the show's history. Later that evening, Kelly posted a behind-the-scenes photo of the cake on Instagram, captioning it, "Find someone who makes your mornings feel brand new, every single day." Within hours, the post had millions of likes. Fans flooded the comments with hearts and laughing emojis. But one comment stood out, from their daughter Lola, who wrote, "Okay, but please stop talking about Dad's breath on TV, loudly crying face." Kelly replied, Never. In the days that followed, more interviews surfaced where Kelly and Mark were asked about the moment. Each time they laughed, but there was always that sparkle. The look of two people who've lived, fought, and loved deeply enough to find joy in even the smallest things. It wasn't about morning routines anymore. It was about trust. About how two people can share their quirks and still find magic. An insider from Live put it best. They're proof that love doesn't fade with time. It evolves. The same energy they had as young soap stars in the 90s? It's still there, just deeper now. Kelly's humor and Mark's calm, that's the formula. That's why America loves them. And here's the twist nobody saw coming. The good breath joke actually sparked a campaign idea among the producers. Rumor has it, a major oral care brand reached out to Live about a possible collaboration. The concept? Love that lasts, stay fresh together. While nothing's been officially confirmed, fans are already calling it the most romantic endorsement ever imagined. But when asked about it, Kelly just laughed. Listen, if my husband's mouth can make money now, great. It's been charming me for years, Mark added. She's never going to let this go, is she? Kelly winked. Not a chance. In the end, what makes this story unforgettable isn't the humor. It's the heart. Kelly Ripa's lighthearted confession turned into a masterclass in love, laughter, and longevity. Because what she really admitted wasn't just that her husband has good breath, but that he still makes her feel good, still makes her laugh, still makes her want to talk about him every single day. Their story reminds everyone watching that love doesn't always need grand gestures. Sometimes it's found in the quiet mornings, the small compliments, the tiny things that don't fade, even after decades. So yes, Kelly Ripa might have said that Mark Consuelos always has good breath. But maybe what she truly meant was this. After all these years, he still takes my breath away. And there you have it, the story that proves love can stay fresh no matter how many years go by. Kelly and Mark just gave us another reason to believe in lasting romance. So what do you think? Is their secret really in the toothpaste? Or is it something deeper? Let me know your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unbelievable celebrity stories, because in Hollywood, even a good breath can turn into a beautiful love story. See you in the next video.